Transformers Rise of the Beast is an action-adventure sci-fi movie. The cast consists of Anthony Ramos, Dominique Fishback, and Pete Davidson. The director is Stephen Caples Jr., and he's done movies like Creed 2. Returning to action and spectacle that have captured moviegoers around the world, Transformers Rise of the Beast will take audiences on a 90s globe-trotting adventure with the Autobots and introducing a whole new faction of Transformers, the Maximals, to the existing battle on Earth between Autobots and Decepticons. So what attracted me to this movie, besides it being the 7th iteration of this franchise, was the Maximals. I grew up watching the Beast Wars TV series, and I always thought, this would be awesome if it comes to the big screen, and they finally did it. I thought it's going to be a different iteration of what it's supposed to be, and for me, I just found it really, really interesting on how they were going to play it. So they bring on a new threat, which is Omicron, and he's been in the cartoon movies of Transformers. He's the actual one that made Galvatron, but since Galvatron has been killed in the movies from before, they had to put Omicron here in this movie. And basically, there's this crystal that the Maximals are protecting that prevents Omicron from jumping from galaxy to galaxy. So he won't be able to devour or feed on all these worlds. So this guy's basically like a planet-sized robot, and what he does, he sends these other robots that he calls the Terracons, that's led by Scourge, and he's the one that goes and sends them to go get the crystal from the Maximals. The Terracons are basically another style of robot, which are basically the Decepticons. So the Maximals escape, and they head to Earth and settle there. And then after centuries of them being hidden on Earth, then they're finally found by Scourge. So he comes to Earth, and then now the Maximals and the Autobots have to basically fight it out to save the world, along with a couple of humans. So the acting in this movie is basically really only two people in this movie acting, which is Anthony Ramos' character and Dominique Fishback's character. And for me, the acting was horrible. And I don't blame them for being bad actors. I don't think it's that they're bad actors, just they're put in a role that's way too big for them for only two people. And how Shia LaBeouf played it in the first ones, and then Mark Wahlberg played it in the other ones, I don't know, it just had a different feel to it. There was like bigger stakes, at least I thought from what it looked like. And it's weird because you get Anthony Ramos's character, and he's a complex person then trying to build, because he's also a loving brother, and he's just put in a unrealistic situation where the movie just made it look too big for him. Then he's the only human basically that's there to save the world. Meanwhile, in the other movies, you always have soldiers, army, veterans, you have Marines. All these people are going to fight on behalf with the Autobots. Meanwhile, it's only him. And it kind of sucks because you're basically leaving the fate of the Earth to one human and these robots. And I don't know, it just didn't play right. So the story's not complicated to follow, but there are too many plot holes in the movie. Like thinking, how do they get from point A to point B? Like those types, you get too many plot holes in these Transformer movies. And I understand these movies are made and then they're edited down, but I think you do a disservice to this movie. This movie looked like it was supposed to go for 3 hours, and you broke it down into a 2-hour span, and you lose so much vital information that a person might need, that I think an editor's cut might be better. Like when they just meet people for the first time, they automatically know their names, and I was like, how did you guys get this information? They meet the bad guy for the first time, and they know what his name is. He didn't introduce himself or anything, and I just felt like what's going on here? How do you guys get this information? At least that's what was going through my head. I did think the special effects were really good, especially on the Maximal side. It was cool how you see a gorilla-shaped robot and then this hawk-shaped robot. And it's cool how they mixed it in. You know, it's like the first time when you see Optimus Prime in that first movie, you know, everyone claps. I didn't hear much people clapping when you saw the Maximals, so I don't know how hyped people were about this movie. There was a part where Anthony Ramos's character, obviously because he's the only human that's going to save the world along with the robots, he gets Autobot technology on him, and he basically becomes like Ironheart from Black Panther 2, but with a clear face shield, and he just looked weird in it. That was the biggest special effects flaw that I found in the movie. It looked so bad. His face looked so big in the face shield, along with a rather small body. I don't know. It just didn't look good. I think I would have liked it more if they did some type of like Iron Man thing where they covered his face and he had openings for his eyes and his mouth, and there I guess the perception of his face wouldn't come out as bad as it did through the special effects. Now, I don't know what was the director's vision in this movie, and to be honest with you, it felt like if this was just another cash grab. Michael Bay's vision of the movies before, you knew that you were just going to get a whole bunch of explosions and that slow building of transformation. So to be honest with you, there was really nothing that got me excited when I was watching the movie, and a lot of the times I got bored. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's too many movies for the franchise, but I thought the last Bumblebee movie was great, how the storytelling went about. And this one just fell really, really short for me. When I walked out of the movies, I thought this was the worst Transformers movie I watched. But then after getting the info for the movies, and I saw all the other movies in the franchise, then I remembered Transformers The Last Night was the worst movie I saw. So I wouldn't recommend you go watch this movie in the theaters. I don't think it's worth you spending your money to go watch this movie. I think there's more of a movie that you wait and see it at home or something. It's not worth you spending, you know, $20-30. I understand if your kids want to go and watch it, but really, it was sad. It was sad for me to walk out the way that I did from the movie. Just wait for the movie to come out on a streaming platform. So, well, guys, that's it. That's all. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm wrong about the movie. Maybe you guys enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching, and God bless.